Oh.
I still have to configure a better setup in my car because I have it on a tripod and I'm just holding it up. So, hey, I have so much to tell you guys. I have so much to fill you in on since we've been to Sanoviv. A lot has changed and not really in our favor. This was a lot more prominent, like it was a lot more heavy in me a couple weeks ago because it just felt like all of our progress that we made in Sanoviv just completely washed. But now I am kind of on the other side of it, understanding it and seeing it for what it is. And I truly don't think this is totally a negative thing. For some people, this might feel like we're going a bit backwards. So let me just fill you guys in on what we've been doing, what's been going on in Mazina and Elizabeth's world. I am currently sitting in the hospital parking lot because my mom is currently getting radiation treatment. On May 24th, which would be Victoria Day, my mom had a very severe seizure. It was by far the scariest thing I have ever seen in my life. I thought for sure she was going to die. Her seizure lasted a lot longer than the average seizure. It's about, I think 30 seconds to a minute is what I read, maybe 2 minutes. She was seizing for about 5 minutes. It was just awful. I don't want to take you guys through that and relive that moment because it was very traumatizing for me. I mean, of course, like she's convulsing uncontrollably. There was blood coming out of her mouth. We unfortunately had to call the ambulance and they picked her up and took her from by ambulance to the hospital where she spent 3 nights here in this hospital that I'm at currently. This was probably one of those moments where I'm like, things are not going well and they're still kind of in question. They did a CT scan and they found that the nodes in her brain, she has about 11 tumors, nodes, lesions, they're all the same thing. So if you're confused like I was at one point, one of her tumors in her brain has been growing. Not the biggest one, which is a little confusing because on the report, they said cyst, like the biggest one being a cyst. So I'm just confused again. Doesn't matter. Regardless, there's been growth happening in her brain and that has caused swelling. And then that is what they think caused the seizure. And they recommended doing radiation. We waited a full week. We got on the phone with a Sanoviv doctor at the rate that her brain has so much swelling that he thinks that's probably the best and the fastest way to reduce the swelling. We called literally as soon as I got off the phone with Sanoviv, I called the radiation nurse and told her that we are 100% all for a go. They were kind of pushing it on us. And at the time, I didn't really know how important it was to get this procedure done. But you know, if the swelling were to go untreated, then it could be fatal or it could cause permanent brain damage. So what they're doing in the meantime, before she had the radiation, they put her on a really strong steroid that she was on before. It's dexamethasone. So they have her on 16 milligrams of dexamethasone every single day. I accidentally was only putting her on 8. I totally misread the label, but we started back up on the full dose. And part of this actually really upsets me because none of the doctors like sat down and told me, hey Mazina, we're giving your mom dexamethasone because we're trying to keep her alive. You know, I had to Google that and I was like just going through like a whirlwind of emotions, and I'm pretty good and calm now at this point because I understand everything and everything's in order and it's all going well. She's currently in treatment. They decided to do 8 days of treatment. It's the exact same dosage or amount, I guess you would say, as last time, except instead of 5 days, it's over 8 days. So she's on day 5 out of 8. We're like more than halfway through. Yesterday was halfway through and she's just been doing amazing. And yeah, I'm finally able to kind of catch you guys up, but that's kind of where we're at. I wanted to come on here and make this video specifically for what we're doing to be able to reduce the intense side effects of radiation, because we have experience with radiation. Last time was December 2019 and it was absolutely terrible. Like I remember thinking to myself, I was like, this isn't even my mom. She was just a zombie, just barely surviving, like by a thread. Because whenever the doctors gave us the prognosis of 2 years, I was like, she's not going to make it 2 weeks. What do you mean 2 years? I thought that was 2 years ago. I thought that was absolutely outrageous. Like that's how sick she was. And this time has been almost like easy breezy. Like she's having minor side effects where she's just like can't really concentrate that well. She feels a bit spacey. She has like a little bit of headache, but like amazingly different than last time. So I wanted to create this video and show you guys what we're doing, you know, supplement wise. A little tractor just went by me. Supplement wise and then lifestyle wise, what we're doing differently this time than we did last time. So I'm going to show you guys all of everything, but I'm going to go get her because I feel like her appointment was 30 minutes ago and it only takes about 15, so she's probably waiting for me. So I'm going to pause this thought and I'm going to go pick her up. Yep, and sure enough, she was waiting for me. Oh, there she is. Hello. You were in and out today? Were you waiting for me long?
10 minutes.
Sorry. I was recording this and just telling them and updating everyone on what we're doing, what we're up to, but you are day 5 out of 8 and you feel great. She's having a really good day. So. So that's her morning shake. So I also want to note that she put 6 of these into her morning coffee. We got this supplement from Sanoviv as well. I think you can just go on the Sanoviv store if you like want to get that stuff. I'll link it all below. So for diet wise, it's kind of like a little bit more complicated. I haven't quite nailed that down yet. My default has always been like this cookbook. You guys know this is like my absolute favorite cookbook. I will link this below. When it comes to diet, it's like mostly we will focus on gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, lectin-free if possible. Like whenever I say lectin-free, I just am referring to The Plant Paradox by Dr. Gundry. He taught me all of that stuff, and this is another one of the cookbooks I use. This cookbook is amazing and it works really well. However, it's just a little bit different. This book in particular was actually designed for like cancer patients, lower energy, different symptoms. And I find that this one's so much more friendly whenever it comes to like meal prepping and planning. Do you know what I mean? However, there's just a couple little things in these ones that I'll tweak just to make them more lectin free. Going lectin free and focusing on that is a totally different beast. And typically people are like, oh, it just needs to be, you know, gluten-free and vegan. And I'm like, yes, it's an amazing start, but it could get more complicated than that. And I don't try to like get myself absorbed with that, because when I was doing that, I was getting really obsessive and it was exhausting me. So I'm just kind of like letting things go, not in a bad way. It's just like in a way that it's like healthier for my mentality, because I was getting so obsessive. That's just how I am. I'm just kind of like, you could do this, but then there's this reason why you shouldn't. And there's always going to be a reason why you shouldn't. So whatever, and everyone's body is totally different. Everyone's body reacts totally different. It's like, yes, focus on whole foods and trying to be vegan and trying to, you know, reduce anything that spikes insulin levels. That's like the main thing. Insulin levels is like the primary thing, if you want to know. Every time I'm thinking about what are we eating, I think about, will this spike her insulin levels and how do I reduce that spike? Anything that will absorb insulin level spikes is going to be protein, fiber, healthy fats. So should I add in an avocado? Should I add in, you know, not the best all the time, chicken breast or egg? I'm always constantly thinking about that, and it is interesting navigating the diet itself. We also have to be mindful of keeping her weight up because we do not want her losing weight, because she's down to about 116 right now, and the last time we measured her she was at 117, so she's not like dramatically losing weight, but we do need to be like super mindful of keeping her weight up. So there's all these different elements that are constantly moving, you know, prioritizing her supplements, making sure she's getting her supplements in. I do that with the shakes, and then making sure that we keep her weight up, but then also at the same time simultaneously starving the cancer and making sure that we're on a good diet that isn't feeding it and helping it grow. Yeah, I think that's about it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Wow, I regretfully did not bring water outside with me. So now that it is 2:30, I have like a schedule pretty much. Let me show you guys. Originally, whenever I decided that we were gonna do things differently, I made up a schedule for like my mom, myself, and then like the different recipes for the shakes. A lot of this has changed, so, but it was like basically like a little guideline. I think my mom's pretty much ready for her afternoon shake, which I have changed a lot, and I think this one's like the most important one. So I'm gonna walk you guys through what I put in that shake. The first thing I add into this shake, this one's actually like one of my favorite ones because it's kind of like a smoothie bowl. I don't know, I can make it thick enough that she can like eat it with a spoon. Because the mucus has been so thick in her body, she prefers it thin, but you can totally thicken this up. The first thing I use is frozen organic blueberries. I use about, I don't know what we say, that's like half a cup. So I know that there's conflicting information about maybe being like keto and not doing any berries, and me and my mom, she was keto for a very long time, and I was like, no fruit whatsoever because it will spike your insulin levels. Again, anything with protein, fiber, healthy fats will help reduce that spike. Blueberries have incredible antioxidants in them that fight cancer, so it's doing more good than harm. So there's no sense in getting super scared about everything. Like I said, I was obsessed with it and it was causing me a lot of tension, and of course I transmit that into what I'm creating a little bit, if you guys believe that or not. Regardless, take it or leave it. So blueberries, and then I usually, because I want her to actually finish them, I try to make less, so she's not committing to like a big portion, because I feel like sometimes that overwhelms her and she just doesn't eat it or drink it at all, and then we waste a ton of product. So I'll just fill that up to, it's a pretty good amount. I would say that that was probably half a cup as well. Then, of course, just to mask the taste a little bit, I always put my raw nutritional. This is a pea protein. There's a little bit of sugar in here. There's 3.5 grams per one full scoop, and I don't use a full scoop. It's just to mask the taste of all these supplements. So it's exactly the same as this morning's smoothie. I just use, I don't know, like 1/3 of a scoop. And then this stuff too, I find thickens quite a bit too. Like it makes it almost like a gelatine-y, which is nice because it goes down easier. I'm gonna add fiber again. I usually ask her how her bowel movements are, and that will determine how much fiber I'm adding in a day, but I'm not adding like a ton either. First up, supplement-wise, going in here is the red clover. This red clover, I don't even know who this is by, Nature's Way. I just found it on Amazon. I'll link it below. The reason why I'm using red clover is because I heard somewhere in my long hours of research that it helps with mucus. So it helps reduce mucus production. And like I've been telling you guys, it's been a really big struggle for my mom to get things down because there is such a mucus buildup that's not anything new. So I literally just break them apart, put them in there. I'll put in a full tablet of this Yoda Lactina. This is from Sanoviv as well. I wish I could tell you what this does. I don't remember. I think it's obviously supposed to help with cancer. Regardless, everything I'm putting in here at some level is to help support the body, fight cancer, or literally fights cancer itself. Next is Hepacil, the liver support. This one has milk thistle in it. And then I put another perglucamune in. Next, I have AHCC. Again, I put this in each shake every day. This one is another mushroom supplement. So yeah, I've listened to a lot of different podcasts, read different things. I'm on Facebook groups, cancer groups, you name it. I'm like everywhere and just obsessively researching everything. And you know, one person said, you gotta hit it with everything you got. And I thought about that and I was like, yeah, another one of these. So I do this one in every single shake as well. Just 2 of these for this shake. Another one from Sanoviv. I don't know, I kind of got over my mindset of like, oh, like I don't want to be doing a bunch of things and not know what's working and what's not, or doing things and like wasting my money and not knowing what's actually effective or not. The thing with cancer is that there's so many routes that it can take and it just feels like aggressive. Like it will become resistant to one thing even if it's working for a little while. So you do kind of gotta hit it with everything you got. So that's why I just implement everything I learn. And then, you know, it feels like a lot, but then it'll be worth it, right? I just give her 2 of these coconins separately because they are jelly, so these do not blend well. So I just give these to her separately. This is Coconin 100. This is really good for circulation, getting oxygen to the blood. And then I add one thing to this. So this is fenbendazole. We just keep it in a container. It's just like a white powder, as you guys can see. This is fenbendazole. This is a canine parasite killer, parasite medication. I've mentioned this before, but Joe Tippens is the one who ended up taking this. He had a very aggressive cancer. He started taking this alongside of other things, which I'm implementing too. Well, I'm actually not implementing vitamin E. He recommends doing vitamin E, but there's been research and studies on that since saying that it grows the cancer. So there's bits and pieces to people's protocols that I take and like implement for ourselves after I like keep expanding and learning. But regardless, this Joe Tippens guy, I think I have a podcast. I think it could be taken down too because that happens. But he basically took this canine parasite killer medication and he's well and alive, completely in remission. So in order for this to be absorbable, you have to mix it with oil, especially if you want it to pass by the blood-brain barrier. If you guys know anything about the blood-brain barrier, it's kind of hard to get past, right? No chemo will ever get past that, which is, well, I mean, that's what they say, regardless. So I usually just pick up, this is the oil I use. Again, I just get it on Amazon. Again, I will link it all below. I eyeball this. I would say I put in like a half a tablespoon if you want to get exact. Beware with the MCT oil. This is MCT oil that I put in. It will cause bowel movements, so it could upset your stomach. It could make you feel a little bit nauseous. It helps with movements. So with the Fenben, I use 1/4 of a teaspoon. They'll say 222 milligrams. There's a Joe Tippens Facebook group. It's called My Cancer Rocks. That's a really great group to be in if you want to see people's before and after results and stuff like that. And then there's like, you can type in any question that you have or ask any question about the protocol itself and they'll answer. And I almost forgot, this is like the main part. Perflavanol C by USANA. Again, this is the grapeseed extract. I put in 4 of these. So remember guys, I gave her 2 this morning and then 4 now. So it's 6 total. Some people recommended doing 8. I mean, you can't overdose on this. That's all in here. And now I'm just gonna blend this up and give this to her. So that is our afternoon shake. I'm gonna start cooking here in about an hour. So I'll show you guys what we're gonna eat for dinner. And then I'll show you our night latte where I sneak more supplements into her drinks. There you go.
Thank you.
Medication, so I guess I could show you guys this because I rarely ever. Dexamethasone. They also have her on an seizure medication. You guys should see this. They also gave us like a ton of other prescriptions. That one's a laxative. First of all, she does not need a laxative. I get it, it's not good if you're backed up, but take the natural approach first. And then other ones are like acid blockers, which we know just make it, you know, not much better. And then one's for nausea, which I randomly do use. I was horrified to find out that one of those is like a sleeping pill, which sleeping pills only knock out the cerebral cortex, which just sedates you. It cannot possibly mimic a natural sleep. This is scary because it can cause more issues than good. I know a lot of people don't know that. Like, I have people that are my age that are taking sleeping pills and I'm like, please don't. It's like, it shaves years off of your life. So that's that, yeah. Okay, so it's actually the next day, but I was gonna record this, but I had to speak in front of a group of people last night. So now I'm gonna be making my mom's turmeric latte. I don't know, I just call it a latte. I personally use Organifi Gold. There's not quite anything like it. There's prebiotic powder in here. It's okay, Mom, if you need a cough. Mom's just over here. She's trying to eat her food without choking or coughing. Poor mama. Anyways, this is actually a superfood as well, so I like using this. One other thing I did not show you guys yet, we were finally able to get like CBD oil, and this is a 1-to-1 ratio THC CBD because I did a little research and so far that's what I found out to be the most potent. She was not able to take this because whenever we told the nurse that we were like considering doing CBD oil, she's like, no, don't do that because it can like actually make the intensity of the chemo drugs worse. So I didn't want to do any damage or whatever. I'm gonna link a video below as well, just explaining THC and CBD. But what I started doing today is just adding these to her drinks because they're quite, what would you describe it as, Mom? Bitter, like yeah, it takes over your entire mouth. So I'm trying to like mask it in different drinks like I've been doing with all the supplement. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys what I put into the third and final supplement concoction that I make every day. So that is literally everything to the day of what I'm doing to make sure that my mom's getting her supplements every single day. Normally it goes over quite well as long as there's not a bunch of mucus. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments below. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for using the affiliate links below. And thank you for supporting us and just following along our journey. I will try my absolute best to keep you guys updated in more real time. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have the best day ever and take care of yourselves and don't forget to breathe. All right, bye.